a 32nd, which is smaller, and then a 1/16, which is a little bit heavier.
Seven, 4.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. This fish must like Chinese too. Oh, you got it? By the net, next to the net. Thank you, sir. Come here, dummy. Come here. Chunky bro.
Yeah. Yeah, last time I was here, well, probably last time you were here too.
No, I was here last time.
Oh, they were coming close. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Damn. Need a little bit better.
Hey, 16th.
Yeah.
16th and bright.
Jeez. I don't think so. Doesn't feel that heavy.
Oh, weird. Oh yeah, that's gotta be good. Oh yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that's it.
Yep. I got it. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's toast. Time. Oh,
Yeah. Stop it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, that's a nice one. There we go. Good.
Seven, 4.
Yeah. Nice.
Holy interruptions.
All right, ladies and gents, I want to take a quick break from the video to show you what's going on out there. What I'm using is my main mini jig rod. This is a Katana K4 ultralight rod. It's something I call a moderate or moderate fast action. It is stiff, has a lot of stiffness, but it has a very soft tip, so it's kind of the best of both worlds. And I have it paired with a Shimano Vanquish 1000. For line, I'm using Sinister Strand 4-pound fiber braid, and for a leader, I have about 5 feet of Runkle Power Fluoro in 5-pound. I attach the line with a double uni knot. What's unique to Hesperia Lake, and it's unlike any other lakes that I know of in Southern California, is the water starts off at the beginning of the season in the fall, and early winter is very murky. And then as the season progresses, the water clears up. So right now, I'll show you some underwater footage in a minute. The water is very, very clear. When we rolled up on the bank, you could look down to the water and really see the difference. So I decided to start with a mini jig, but a 16th ounce mini jig, and keep it close to the bottom, because I'm thinking the fish may still be on the bottom, but this is a shallow lake. It's not very deep. It's probably averaging 5 to 6 feet where the trout are hanging out. So I got to work that 16th ounce mini jig back a little bit faster as it's heavier. And as it turns out, I'm getting a lot of my bites and hooking up fish right off the bottom. So I can feel the bottom at times when I'm working it back. I may just speed up a little bit or lift my rod tip a hair to keep it right off the bottom, and that seems to be where the fish are. Now, would drop shot work in this case? Possibly, but drop shot, the rig itself is kind of elaborate, especially a double drop shot. And in clear water, typically the trout have really good vision and they can see the rig, so the illusion's kind of lost on them typically. So I decided to go with a mini jig instead, because just a regular mini jig looks a lot more natural than a drop shot rig in clear water. In the murky water, it's great because the fish usually can't see the rig, they just see the baits. So that's why that technique is so effective. But here, since the water's so clear, I decided to start with a mini jig. Now here's some footage showing exactly how I'm working these jigs back.
All right, in this clip, you can see I've already cast it out and my rod tip is down, and you can see my reel speed. It's slow, but a hair faster than when I work at 32nd. Because the goal here is I'm trying to keep that heavy jig just off the bottom without running it into the bottom. So I got to go a little bit faster as I can feel the bottom now and then when I'm doing my retrieve.
All right, now let's go to the bench and I'll show you exactly how I rig these baits up. All right, guys, show you the baits I was using out here. This is Golden State Mini Jig Big Stick. It's real bright, it's orange and yellow here. And normally in the mornings, I tend to go with brights, usually whites, but this is a nice bright one. Decided to try it. I saw actually Josh, another pro staffer, had hooked up on one using this one, so I threw it on and I was off to the races. Now, the jig heads usually come in two different sizes that we fish these mini jigs with. A 32nd, which is smaller, and then a 1/16, which is a little bit heavier. Typically we use the 1/16 when you're out in deeper water, or if it's a little bit windy, you need to get it out a little bit further. The 1/32 is kind of the mainstay. That's the one you want to use most of the time, but a 32nd ounce weight is extremely light. That's why we use the custom rods, the Sinister Strand braid, and all those things to help you just get a good cast with it. The 16ths are a little bit easier to cast because obviously they're heavier and they'll fly a little bit further, so you can get them out easier, and then working them back is a little bit easier than initially casting it. That's usually where people have the most frustration, is trying to cast these 32nd ounce mini jigs with 4-pound mono and a short rod that isn't designed for mini jigs. It's just not going to fly that far. So 16th sometimes you'll use when you're just starting out, at least get you in the water and you can get bit, but they are heavier, so you have to work them back a hair faster. Now, how I hook these on, there's two ways to do it. One way is to flip the skirt upside down so the skirt's upright, and to put the eye of the jig in first very carefully, is not to rip the rubber, because this is delicate rubber, and carefully slide it in, watching the eye of that hook, because the eye of the hook here is what's going to rip it. So you just work it on there real slow, and then once you get it up to the very top, so the lead head's at the top, you just use your thumb and push that eye through, and there you have it. Now the other way to work it, and this is the way a lot of guys do, because you can do this while the lead head is tied onto your line. So let me take this out, and then you can change colors on the fly. But again, you have to be very careful doing this so you don't destroy the jig. So you go in at the top, not at the very top, but just off to the side, because you want to end up with the eye of this hook sticking out the side of it at the top, okay? So what you do is slide the point of your hook and you make a little hole, and carefully, without them stabbing the rest of the jig, so you want to go down the center of the tube with the hook and slowly work it on there to where the hook's coming out the bottom of the skirt and not going through the rubber. Now when you get to the lead part, you want to carefully push the jig body over the lead in such a way that it doesn't rip. And as this hook comes through, I grab the bottom of the hook and help pull it through and put this little cap of rubber over the top. And it's right on, and that little hole didn't get any bigger caused by the hook. And then now, when it's tied on, you can change out your jigs to different colors without having to retie. Another way, and this is the way I do it, is I found these fly fishing snaps. And that's what they're called. This is a size large, and what these things do is they clip on to the eye of the hook and clip off. Clips on like that, and it does not affect the action of the jig in any way, and the fish can't see that little clip because it's so tiny. Now these clips are, fly fishing obviously is very small gear, very tiny. This clip is what's called a size large. So if you want one of these clips, don't get the small or the medium. They're way too small. Unless you got real tiny hands and can manipulate them. I can't do it. But the large is a good size. And you can see it's not completely together. But I've never had a fish straighten that out the way it's designed. And I've never had the jig pop off inadvertently when I was fighting a fish. So these are a real decent deal. They got them on Amazon. You can get them at fly fishing shops. But it's something to try out if you don't want to tie directly to your main line. All right, now let's go to a clip of some underwater footage I took while we were out there and see if we can learn anything about why the fish are acting the way they are.
All right, now as the debris settles here, this footage was taken later in the day, so the bite had changed a little bit, so I want to see what the fish are doing. Now see, there's a rainbow trout, but he's way off the bottom there. And you can see the water's green, and there's another rainbow. Again, way off the bottom. It's got a green tinge to it, but it is pretty clear. Yeah, you can see that fish pretty clear, but again, he's a good foot and a half off the bottom. They can see better, and that means they're going to hunt a more broad area where they can get a good real bird's eye view of what's going on. This is why later in the day, working those mini jigs on the bottom wasn't quite getting it, because the fish weren't there. They're up. Oh, there's a hitch fish. They're up a little bit higher. Another couple trout right there. But again, I don't see one fish scanning the bottom, looking for a drop shot or something like that. Oh, there's another hitch fish. So mini jigs are definitely what I would use, other than bait. The drop shot seems like it just might be too visible to them, and they probably aren't going to hit it. There's another nice size rainbow. Again, good foot and a half off the bottom. So it must have been that the fish were holding to the bottom, and in the morning when it was darker, because they were kind of scanning the floor there for baits and whatnot. And there's one that's fairly close to the bottom, but you can see the majority of all these fish are up at least a foot and a half, if not 2 or 3 feet off the bottom, as they swim around and look for food. So really good information to get, so when it's clearer, they're not going to be necessarily on the bottom. They'll probably be up higher in the water column.
All right, hopefully that cleared some things up, answered some questions, and maybe we learned a little something. Now let's get back to the video.
Oh yeah! Yeah, they're right on the bottom. Get over here. Yeah, this one hit it good. Thanks, brother.
sir. There you go. A little chunkier. See if he comes back this way in about 20 minutes. Yeah. Well, no, just go all the way around the lake. Oh, there we go. Oh, I am just a little fella. Be cool, be cool. Yeah. All right, there you have it, guys. Great day out at Hesperia, and it's always a great time fishing with the GSF Pro Staff guys. But a very interesting day. Like I said earlier, it's all about the transition of that water clarity and what techniques we're going to use to catch the fish. And as you saw in that underwater footage, it was taken a little bit later in the day, and in the morning the fish were biting mini jigs off the bottom. In the afternoon the bites slowed down quite a bit, but you can see in the footage that the trout have come up off the bottom. They're a good foot off the bottom. So I think maybe it was the low light conditions which led to that bite in the morning, where they were hungry, but they were searching the bottom for food, because I guess that's where they figured the food would be, even though their vision was a little bit impaired. But obviously not enough to find the mini jigs. And then as the afternoon wore on, their vision got better, the water conditions got brighter, and they came up off the bottom a little bit to look for food, because they could see probably in a further distance. So interesting things to take note of, and especially when you're selecting what bait you're going to use and what techniques you're going to try and use to get on the fish. As always, if you want any of the fine products I use on this channel, like the Golden State Fishing Custom Baits, the Katana rods, or the WaterLand sunglasses, there's a QR code right up here. If you click on that, that'll take you to a link tree. And if you want any of the Golden State Fishing Baits, use code CSpanker at checkout, you get 10% off. And if you use the hyperlink that's contained in this link tree and this QR code, anything you purchase, a 15% discount will automatically be applied with WaterLand. So go check out those products. And with that, always remember to like and subscribe and share the videos. If you have any questions, you can contact me here on YouTube or on my Instagram at CSpanker Outdoors. And until next time, well, I hope to see you guys out there, and tight lines.